You are listening to Words with a Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am. I am Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am. You are listening to Words with a Mad Coach.
What's up, Mad World? Hey, what are you afraid of? Why are you afraid of failing? Why are you afraid of losing? In the gym, at some point in time, you're going to lose. You're going to be faced with a task or a situation, condition that's greater than what you can handle currently. But that's the point. It's all about overloading the system so that you can be ready for fight night. But you're never going to get there if you don't make up your mind in terms of what you really want. You've heard this before. You've got to have a vision, a mission statement. You've got to have a definitive goal in mind. You have to know what you want. If you don't know how to ask, you're never going to get what you want. If you say, I want some money, then a penny will do because it represents legal tender. It's some money. So if you say, I want to win, you've got to see the vision in terms of how you win. You know, you could win by disqualification, but that's not the performance that you're after. You've got to get a strong vision of what your fight games should look like, a strong vision of how you want that night to go, a strong vision of how every training session is going to go for you from starting now until the last one that leads up to the fight. You have to have a strong mind. There are only so many people in the world that I know of that are just a force of nature, that they could just make it up as they go. You know, I used to have one fighter who could all week long eat nothing but yogurt and not train, get a call to go fight a high-level fighter who's, you know, had fought in the UFC, fought in Bellator, and he'd go perform well against that guy. He may lose, he may win, but he'd always perform well. There are not that many people, you know, in my estimation, that are built like that, you know, that just can will themselves into a decent performance on short notice. So you're going to have to map this out as you go along, plan it along the way. And the only way you're going to do that is you have to have a definitive goal, a definitive mindset that says, this is who I am, this is where I am, this is where I want to be. You've got to make up your mind exactly right now what that situation is supposed to look like. You've got to get that vision. Again, we've all heard this before. Call it whatever you want. A roadmap, call it a vision, call it, you know, a digital image, how you see yourself. I don't care what you call it, but you've got to lock into it. You've got to have a definitive idea of where you're going and then stick to it. Don't flip-flop it every day. You know, you've got to have a strong idea of who you are and what you're trying to do. Other than that, the next thing you want to do is make sure that all your teammates have the same type of mentality. They may all have different jobs. Some guys are going to be in the gym to be your coaches. Some guys are going to be your sparring partners. But they all have to have that same vision for who they are, what they're bringing to the table. The boxers should really bring the boxing and give you the best information and the best feedback they can. The coaches should really try to instruct you on the best way to approach the game so that you may come out victorious. You know, and there should be no discord. Everybody should be one mind, working together. And then at the end of it all, you've got to have a sense of yourself about giving more than you want in return. You know, you've got to bring that added value mentality. You know, if your coach asks for 100 kicks, you've got to be willing to give him 200 in return. You know, we often talk about the guys who stay after training to help clean up, the guys who stay after training to do extra reps. That's added value, and that's what you've got to bring. You got to bring those three things: a definitive idea about where you're going. You got to bring a team with that same idea about what their contributions are, and then you have to have that added value that's going to make you as an individual great, and hopefully it permeates the room and it makes everybody in the room great as well. I'm Coach Sess. You've had words with the Mad Coach.